What's up, Twitch chat? What's up, YouTube? Third league of the day. Trying out Dimir with Consult the Star charts. We've got preview pane. Got new Edge of Eternity's instant. 1 in a blue with kicker for additional one is a 1 in a blue. Look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of lands you control. Put one of those cards into your hand. If the spell is kicked, put 2 of those cards into your hand instead. So the idea being 1 in a blue, look at the top, like 3, 4 cards, whatever. Put 1 into your hand. Then if you have 4 more mana, you can pay an additional 1 in a blue. Put 2 in the top, however many lands in a hand. So as we get to turn 5, 6, 7, hit our land drops, looking at drawing 2 essentially out of the top, like 6, 7 cards. The rest of the deck, a few adjustments made here and there. We're definitely going more hold up mana instant speed. So we've got Consider, Cling to Dust, Orcish Bowmaster, Snapcaster, Mage, and Subtlety to play around with our Consult the Star charts, because we really want to be holding up mana. Opponent doesn't do anything, draw cards. Opponent does something, interact. 2 FrogTide instead of 3. Hopefully this considers Consult the Star charts will help us find them pretty easily. And then sideboard Splashing White just for pest control, and Celestial Purge help out into the affinity decks running around in Boros, as well as the blue-black blink decks, white-black blink decks. A couple Kaito, move the Thought Seizes into the board to be more instant speed and proactive. And yeah, that's about all we got. Hop in. Yeah, the dono prices and everything are in that about section. From what I've heard, I don't know for sure. I haven't gone and looked around, but from what I've heard, apparently people say my donation league rates are very, very competitive. Like cheaper than 95% of people out there. Also, we haven't I don't think I've used the command in a while, but we used to have a command for still up. Yeah. So if you're like a Twitch grind, or not Twitch grinder, a Magic Online grinder, playing through a bunch of leagues and whatnot, and you're interested in subbing to the channel, then we do have the option to essentially trade me chests or ticks, and I'll gift you a sub if you're wanting access to like emotes and stuff. That way everybody kind of gets covered. It's a little more expensive than just playing or paying straight up for a sub, because a lot of it depends on like the going rate for chests at that moment, or depends on like paying taxes on selling ticks, stuff, all that stuff. But if you're just like grinding Moto leagues and you want to subscribe, know there's an option for you. Riddler into the yard. Surely opponent doesn't have a copy of Orcish Bowmaster. I kind of want to just jam this frog. Like if they go for an end of turn fatal push, that's kind of whatever. If they go for a Felia, untap, and like Overlord, I can subtlety. Or if they go for like a Riddler or something. Can you force negation Overlord on the stack? You cannot. It's a creature. It's both a creature and an enchantment on the stack. So you can like annul it. You can subtlety it, but it's not just a creature, not just an enchantment. And force negation specifies non-creature. So having it as a creature as well kind of makes it immune. Let this go. It's annoying, but if they have like a ephemerate, I've got that covered. Like this was the fear, is that they would just have a Overlord to back it up. Opponent puts Overlord back on top. Much as I want that stern scolding, I think I have to be disciplined and go for the land. What are we getting back? Riddler, Emperor, Felia, Solitude, Witch Enchanter. Back Felia. Yeah, and I don't think that's doing enough for me here. Okay. So we can consult the star charts, dig 4 deep for an answer to this Felia. You find a subtlety. Felia on the bottom. Is that a mold of 5 by them? Yeah. Mold of 5 and we barely squeaked through. We've got Kaito coming in, Thoughtseize coming in, Purge. They're like 2 consigns. Horse can go, Merc. Not bringing in consigns, probably trimming on Bowmaster. Right. Wasn't sure if it dropped the creature thing like Phoenix on the stack. I think it's because Phoenix is bestowing that it's specifically an enchantment on the stack. Whereas Overlord is not bestowing, it's impending. And have the Overlord. Frog. We whiff. Absolutely not. Quantum Riddler, Felia. Boy. Not only is it not whiffing, it's like here's 3 absolute bangers. Yep. I thought about playing that Meticulous Archive on 1. And I probably should have. The Purge. So now the question is, we know you have the Felia. Do you also have like a Flicker Wisp on your turn? That would be rough. Okay. I go into Houston or Vegas. I'm going to Houston for sure. I don't think I'm going to Vegas. Blur, eat, purge. Ace. Dude in Tampa with Frog a few months back trying to figure out what to do. Think you're going to Vegas? I mean, Vegas is really cool just to check out. So I don't think there's a wrong decision to be made there. I forgot to change the title. Falsies. Yeah, we ended up going positive with the Jun Cosmo list somehow. Was the Jun list looking promising? It was a donation league. Definitely needed some work. All right, we need a Kaito. Kaito off the top right here. Let me stun down this Overlord. Or shoot the Sheriff, strategic betrayal, not that. Heard from a little bird that you might be looking at playing some Dimir mid-range and standard. Is that true? Well, yeah. Let me answer that with, hold up, a bunch of janky Dimir cards, half of which I didn't know were like standard legal, but here we are nonetheless. Stresses and bats and beast binders and blah 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 blah. Bunch of stuff. What they get back, Emperor of Bones. All right, and I want to fatal push this now so they can't fatal push my my subtlety for what it's worth. The rest of my hand sucks. But yeah, I was going through TCG Player and realized I could order just like a bunch of standard legal Dimir stuff, whether good or not, just a bunch of stuff for like 8 cents per card. And so I just went and ordered like 100 cards or something. Said one way or the other, I'm just going to jam this pile of stuff. If it works, cool. If it doesn't work, cool. Just years of video glitching and rewinding itself. Feels like you're repeating yourself a lot. I haven't heard anybody say anything, but that doesn't mean it's not true. Anybody else having issues listening in? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Did when I wasn't on Wi-Fi. So it's fine when you're on Wi-Fi. Hands have not been it. No problem with Snuffy. So it sounds like there's just issues when there's not a clean internet signal. That sounds like I cannot do anything on my end. Oh my God. That is, I think, the first time legitimately I have ever seen an Overlord of the Baelmerk whiff. I'm like 97% positive on that. And they have triple Overlord. Demonic Tutors, thank you so much for the raid. Greatly appreciate it. Welcome, everybody. Hope you all have an awesome day. We're in round 1 of this Dimir League, trying out Consult the Star charts. Hope you had an awesome stream. Staring down triple Overlord and crying softly to myself. But welcome everybody from the raid. If it's your first time here, my name is Michael, Cntrlfreak on Magic Online. Play a lot of modern frog decks. So if that's something you are interested in, hopefully you've come to the right place. if you're interested in seeing a bunch of lands get drawn, you are also in the right place. Anything else I'm going to have trouble helping you with? So we don't really care about Ashiok. Said optimistically. Especially after we top deck this Kaito. This Kaito right here. Who consult the star charts would be a good one to hit. I'm not upset about that one. It's not consult, but like, what is? We do have a decision to make, though. So I could snap counterspell the Ashiok. I could snap consider and try to hit something better, since I know they have an answer to the Snapcaster in hand. I think it's snap counterspell. Oh, but I could snap consider and hit Kaito. That would be so good. Could also hit consult the star charts. Counterspell's just the coward's play. You're not here to be cowards. You're totally gonna hit this Kaito. Why does anybody ever doubt me? Wing at Ashiok. No blocks. Jutsu Kaito. Well, 0 here. I can surveil next turn. That into the yard, that on top. Really matter. You think they're gonna flicker wisp their own Ashiok? You think they're just gonna give up the Ashiok to hit my yard? Or like mill over? I just kept something on top. They could just go for the mill over of that. Emperor of Bones. That's fine. So I know they have Ephemerate. There's no chance they go for this right now, right? I can respond to this with Fatal Push the Emperor, which they'd have to fetch Shock Ephemerate. But then they have Ashiok to hit my yard if they want it. Might not be the worst thing in the world. Gets Ashiok off the board. I still have like Kaito. See a couple cards, try to hit something, plus Snapcaster in hand. Get Ephemerate out of hand now. Like this locks them into going ahead and using the Ashiok. Yeah, so in response to this, I'll mill to shuffle away the Otawara that I had on top. Back in with Kaito. Hero. I can just put that in the yard, right? Because I got Snapcaster. Rick. Flicker Wisp, unknown. Or Flicker Wisp, Fatal Push, unknown. Kaito is doomed, unfortunately. Quantum Riddler or Solitude. We have not had a Consult the Star charts hit yet. So there's still 3 in the deck, which is kind of funny. I got back Solitude. Attacking both at Kaito. Back Witch Enchanter. I'm going to try a couple Questing Druid in the Goyf deck. Why? What's Questing Druid doing for you? Really good draw. Stun you down. Hope you don't have another Ephemerate. They know my last card's Snapcaster. I think I just have to Snapcaster this. I don't have another. Did I mill over my Hallowed Fountain? Oh, it is an exile. Crap. That's a bit unfortunate. Maybe we'll be okay. Kaito finds something. There was a Delver of Secrets, Quirion Druid deck, standard way back when. I don't remember that one. Okay, so I can give up Kaito and stun counter the Emperor. Doesn't sound that exciting. Just try to set up the next draw. Those sound that exciting. Really use one of these fancy consult the star charts things. One, two, three. I only have one fatal push left. Elish Norn, crazy good against the Orzhov. Esper mid-range decks are bad because they can flicker it with Feldia. Well, they can't flicker it with Felief because Felief is going to die if it's on the battlefield against an Elishnorn. Or are you talking about the 5-mana one, the no ETB abilities one? It's okay. Like Torpor Orb got tried for a while, and I think people kind of decided it was fairly mid into the blink decks. Like not awful, but not great. Kling's not bad. Probably not a long list of cards that get me out of this, but Kling might be one of them. Okay. So I know they've got a Solitude Unknown. Boy. Of maybe coming time. I honestly don't know. Turn Scolding. By just getting another Consult. Okay, let me double check this for the 75th time. 1 strategic betrayal, 1 fatal push, 1 shoot the sheriff, 2nd fatal push, 3rd fatal push. There's still a fatal push in my deck. So I think I need to get Consult and something and Consult again, looking for a fatal push for this Emperor. Because I think it's just going to kill me. Absolutely not. Want to wait until they're in combat to do that. So if they have an ephemerate, they can't ephemerate and get killed anyway. This is such a game. Oh man. How long must we do this? And like they still know that I have this this Snapcaster. Gonna let the Solitude come back in. Target nothing. Snapcaster push the Felia. Now I can Otawara. I own Snapcaster. I need these lands like not now. Like I guess I can block and ditch to the frog. There's no way we are potentially getting out of this. I refuse to believe that. Otawara, my Snapcaster, doesn't do anything in response to this. Playing out Merc doesn't really do anything. Okay. I don't know what I'm supposed to exile to this. 2, 3. I think I'm just going for a snap consult here. So bad. Ass. Another solitude. Scolding. Honor that. Block. Block. Assault. Counter spell. Thought sees you. Nothing. FrogTide for as big as I can make a FrogTide. I think at the current pace, we're gonna draw. Can't attack with frog because I'd die. I don't remember what my last card was, but if I consider drawing to my last card, ditch to the frog, I grow enough to survive. So keep that on top, draw into it, discard, fly the frog, trigger the FrogTide a bunch. kill with the draw trigger on the stack to lose to decking. Oh. Nipping that one. Holy crap. How do people do this all day, every day? Zero cards in hand, 0 cards in deck. 30 seconds on the clock. Like I said, we would be killing them with the draw trigger for the frog on the stack to, to lose us the game. Opponent last seen 3 days ago on Boros Energy. Need Emrakul in the deck so you can rebuild the deck. So you can just discard Emrakul, trigger on the stack, exile everything you don't want to get back with Frog, shuffle it back in. That was a wild one. The Clam Gaming, thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're having an awesome afternoon. Appreciate you coming around and hanging out. Watching us somehow squeak to that win. Felt like a 007 movie with Magic as the card game. Just... Opponent's on a mulligan. We're on a hope to see second land. Stopped. Fortunately, that's a lot of looks towards a land. That is not. Well, we got greedy. See what happens. Maybe they just go for a bombardment here. You do it. Don't you do it. Son of a... Like the best one, too. Ragavan. Well, opponent's double queuing, so we're not going to be able to rush them very much. Or at all. So I hope y'all are having a good day. We sit here in 8 turns purgatory. Just chillaxing. Just waiting. Still waiting. See if we can stern scolding this Ragavan when they dash it again. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Land. Nope. Game 2. 14 cards without a land will do that. I think I'm fine with that keep, because if we hit the land, then we've just got like double consult the star charts to kind of get out of it. We missed the land, obviously we're in trouble, but thing new. Force. I think I'll just get all the forces out and keep the counter spells. Got a Snapcaster. Well, we got consults. We can find them, right? I can't throw back double fatal push, stern scolding, Snapcaster. I just know I'm going to get punished again. But like, I would rather keep this now and get punished for it in a league than keep it in like a challenge or keep it in the RC and get punished for it then. I would like to see Arena, Exert It, Voice of Victory, Attack for 3, Pass Back. That's what I want to see right here. But win in my book. Got a Thraben Charm. Then God, hold up. Is this Code Lyoko? Counterspell is a great draw. I think I should actually consult here. That might be greedy. The odds are so good of hitting a land. And I've got all these 2-drops clunking up. Goblin Bombardment. Snap Push. Land. Nice. Aren't we glad we held on to that consult the star charts? We feel like geniuses. You and go for the Cling to Dust right now in case I hit a land. I hit a land, I could just hold up the counter spell. Play Murktide, hold up counter spell. Which is the EOE card that felt the best in your testing until now? I was really surprised with Quantum Riddler out of just fair Murktide. That card was really good. Saboteur was good. I think Riddler felt like generically more powerful. Play out our Murktide. How do we use Riddler in general? For those games, we saw a lot of times where, like in a fair matchup, we would just warp the Riddler on 2, plan to recast it later. I don't think there's anything that just like heavily punishes me for this. Use it fairly, cast like have it to hard cast late, or there'd be games where you have a frog down on 2 and you can like ditch some cards into frog to grow it, cast your Riddler, draw 2, ditch some more to draw to the frog again, attack in, trigger the frog when you connect, draw 2 more. So, like, if you just got some dead stuff, extra lands or whatnot to get rid of, it does a lot of filtering. A lot of filtering. That was pretty sweet. We did hard cast it multiple times. So, like, hard casting it late game, especially when you have like force or subtlety or something. Solid. Not a lot of ways to get it off the battlefield. Good hand. On Guide of Souls. On Guide of Souls. Okay. So opponent got basic planes, which means I'm assuming Blood Moon is in my future. So I'm going to try my best to fetch in a way that does not make me like Stone Cold to Blood Moon. That one's a little less so, but you get the idea. Ever popular. Do you play Orcish Bowmaster? Pause. Also ever popular. Yes, I do. Answer. I'm just going to pass here. I don't really need to fatal push this right this second. Still get the Blood Moon feeling though. They just didn't want to cast it into 2 open mana, especially like 2 open potential blue. Kept a card on top. We'll take a 4th land. Could be pretty useful if they go to discard a Flage. Like, oh, we get to ditch it, immediately arena it back. I could have responded with push. I should have done that. That was bad. That was a punt. I was like so keyed in on holding up subtlety. I just didn't think about going for the push on the token. What could change there? Well, Thraben Charm bases its damage on the number of creatures you have. So if I had Fatal pushed the token in response to the Thraben Charm, it would have dealt 0 damage. And I would have kept my Bowmaster if they wanted to double discard into it, which they just discarded dead lands. I would have had 2 more points of damage, 2 points bigger Orc army. They've just been in a much, much better position. They probably wouldn't have this Ajani out. I think I have to save the spell bomb. Ghost vacuum is fine. That's good. Exile their own flage. I definitely need more cards. So we're coming in swinging. And hope you draw dead this turn. I don't think this is a good attack. If I take the trade, you're not killing. You can like copy the cat token if you want, but you're not killing the frog. And I am killing the Ajani on the way back. Go for a consider in case I find a fatal push to kill this reflection in response. And you just got all sorts of punish for that. Creatures take out this Johnny. Draw better playing Dimir. Well, I think it's more just like having a better understanding of what I'm trying to accomplish. I remember when you first hit a Planeswalker with Frog and was like, wait, it triggers on Planeswalkers also? It doesn't make sense that it should. And now I've got Cling to Dust to kind of keep this Ghost Vacuum in check. Put a card on top. You think they'll ever ban our Jumping Friend? I think it's really low on the list, but I don't want to say it's impossible. Something could always get changed up that makes it to where Frog is too good. And it doesn't even have to be like a fair-ish Frog deck. It can just be like a Reanimator deck that's just too good. Oh. Opponent, you should be eating this this Ajani right now. You know I have the Cling. Cards busted. Legacy of the Frog, yeah. But at the same time, in Legacy, like anything that is in a Force of Negation, Force of Will, Wasteland deck is going to be busted. They're going to go after my Cling. So I think I'm just going to Snapcaster, Cling something. Snap, Cling. Probably just there, Johnny. Gain a little more life. Get a creature out of their bin. All right, would you like to get a Flage back? No way. No way you were sacking this on this Flage. I don't think they know this goes to the graveyard. Like, if you know that, there's no way you're just giving up the Ghost Vacuum for just a Flage, right? I'm just gonna attack him with the frog. Actually, no, I'll jump it. I wouldn't mind hitting a land and having frog out double counter spell. So okay. I think we're kind of wrapped here. Spell that because you can't get back another one. Deal. All right. Now I know as soon as I say this, I'm going to regret it. But I have to mention it for the purposes of the stream. I think the only okay, never mind. Never mind, we're good. I was gonna say I think the only thing I have trouble against is Voice of Victory off the top. But now that I hit another counter spell, Voice is covered. I guess Orum's Chant technically fits in that grouping as well. Finger guns win. I'm going to start growing gray hairs by the time this league is over. Like having to go the distance against all the grindy decks, Blink and Boros. I think Boros is losing a lot lately. According to the last French data dump that got posted in the Discord, I think Boros was like 48% against the field. I kind of think that Boros has had I think Boros has gotten a bit of a lift previously because it was in formats with like Nadu and Breach and stuff like that, where you couldn't focus 100% of your attention on Boros. But like now it's Boros, and then everybody else is like a third of the representation that Boros is, at least. And so everybody that like had to divide up their resources against Boros and Breach or Boros and Nadu is now just like gung ho at Boros. I feel like I'm seeing more leagues with people playing like 2 or 3 extra removal spells in the sideboard, or a couple extra sweeper effects, stuff like that. Hold up this spell snare in case they're a frog deck. Oh, why hast thou forsaken me? Living End. End's a bit of a nightmare here. Especially this version of Living End. This one's so much worse than the normal version. I feel like it is. Mainly because of that card right there. I mean, you're allowed to love this deck. I don't personally think it's that good because it feels like you give up like the explosiveness of Living End to try to grind, and I just don't think that plays well into like the current format. What is a keeper or a keeper pack war? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's just like normal pack war you'd play at your shop. Like both sides get a pack. Add some basics. Pray. I've not played one. Shardless, yep. Okay, so we still have to find an answer to this Overlord. Or else they start just hard casting big stupid stuff over and over again. I know it's going to sound surprising to those at home, but we really don't have a good time and to hard cast big stupid things over and over again. Gonna put the other frog on top, draw into that and play it just to try to have a little extra attempts at finding a removal spell for the Overlord. Hard cast an int. Oh, game's over. We tried. See you next time, folks. Guess I could have Cling to Dusted before blocks to see if I'd hit something that I cared about, or just get like I could have just discarded that and blocked a Shardless Agent. Need like a Consult the Star Charts, a Shoot the Sheriff. So close. Ah, so close. So if I had blocked, a Shardless Agent, discarded Bowmaster, no, I wouldn't have Revolt. Needed Bowmaster to ping itself to give Revolt to get rid of a. I had enough stuff. I don't want all of these consigns, but like I've just got a lot of stuff to get out of the deck. Thinking about Flash and Bowmaster, ping and block one of the agents, discard the cling to block the other. Possibly. Ultimately, I don't think it really mattered, but technically, you never know. It's just the feeling of knowing this is never going to work. It's knowing that opponent is about to surveil a land to the top. Even if they have to go through some extra steps to do it. Show me the land. They have to go through a few extra steps to get there. They've got an Overlord, Force Negation, Curator's gone. They've got a Shardless Agent. It's gone. What's this get? Snapcaster, Subtlety, FrogTide, Bowmaster, Harbinger. So much of me wants to just let this go. All right, so Halo Forger's not doing anything. Sign the Overlord ETB. consult some star charts. Okay. Attack first. In case we draw like a Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize, counterspell. We've got to get the game over with. It's a hard cast Overlord. Oh no, this is castling from either side. I want to Snapcaster this or consign this. Or I could just consult, because if they want a strategic betrayal, I just lose the Snapcaster. They could Thoughtseize if they want, and I just discard to the frog. Consulting some star charts one way or the other. Guess we'll start with that. In case they want to force this and not my purge. Okay. Magic is so stressful. Do you have bounce effect, big stupid thing? You have endurance plus force of negation. It's either got to be force. It's either got to be endurance, force negation, or sink into super force negation. It can't sink into super force negation, so it's got to be endurance force. No reason to shock in for like Otawara. Read like a book. Stop making me play this. I didn't have to show him Harbinger. That's kind of nice. How's Consult felt? It's been okay. I don't think it's been as good as Quantum Riddler was. But it's been fine. Like, it's definitely going to be good in those really long, drawn out games. But I just don't know how much of modern that consists of. But I also understand that we're a deck that's like trying to make those games happen. I think I'm just going for upkeep Celestial Purge the Overlord. Don't really have a great living end here. Good Halo Forger for a living end. Didn't have that one on my my spreadsheet. Okay. That's pretty good. I'm just going to hit them in the face. Ignore Ashiok. Still have a basic swamp in the deck. Probably actually just better to get down Murktide here. Imagine having a Murktide cast on you through Ashiok. Time to be alive. Oh, get out of here. I made a funny joke for a YouTube video the other day where I played against just like the worst slog of matchups I've ever seen. And so far, this feels like it's competing. Like, I would love just a bye matchup. That one trophy league with Oculus was quite a slog. That's the one I was talking about, where it's just like Blink and Boros and mono white land destruction and just like banger match after banger match. Find a round 4 opponent, please. Then Last seen 8 days ago on Grixis Control. Looks like their Grixis Control is just Frog with Flame of Anor. Got some lightning bolts in there too. Guess we'll check for the answer. Chances Frog's living. Is Frog living and attacking? All right. If they want to block this Frog, they're welcome to. Back. Be a subtlety. Be another Bowmasters. Like their list on Goldfish is 2 Bowmasters, 1 subtlety, 1 Kaito. So if their hand is just like multiple Bowmasters, kind of funny. Show me a counter spell. They have been incredibly patient on that counter spell. For better or worse. Better or worse, super, super patient on that counter spell. Two reasons there for the force and negation over the counter spell. One, my counter spell is the more generic catch-all, so more chances it'll be able to tag whatever I want it to tag. Second being, at least according to their list, they last trophied with, they've got, or not trophy, played in the challenge with, they've got 4 copies of Snapcaster Mage in the main. So getting force or getting push into exile instead of the graveyard does a lot into those. Okay, so going into post board, they've got K Command, Kaito, Invert Polarity, no basic mountain. I can see any number of these. Kind of a tough one because we got a lot of stuff that's just pretty good. Like, what if I just don't bring in the Thought Seizes? Maybe like 1 Harbinger on the draw. Out a couple of considers against Bowmasters. Why do you think black green / Jund decks don't perform nowadays? I've got 2 theories. The first is that I think the decks, the black green X decks, don't perform because they don't like give up their pride to play the cards that will win them games. I think so often they just like stick to their guns of we have to play these like 35 cards or something, and they refuse to change off of that. The other reason is I think that they don't do anything unfair, which kind of ties into the first a bit, but they just don't try to include anything in their deck that like cheeses out games. they just kind of say, okay, I'm gonna turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Wrenn and 6, turn 3 Liliana the Veil, whatever. And if that doesn't work, like, I'm just losing this game. I think green's just bad right now. There's some good green stuff. Not a ton, but some. Cameo on top. I think the crucial point is, as you said, that we don't have any unfair thing going on. Also, Thoughtseize seems not enough in 2015. Yeah, like, I really believe that Jund or The Rock or something could be okay if they would adjust their deck. But for whatever reason, just don't and keep jamming the same thing and wondering why it's not working. Gonna Bowmaster here while I'm tapped out. Kept a card on top. But like, Jund really has to understand that they aren't doing anything that's broken, so they have to do like more than what's necessary to stop people from doing broken things against them. And they've got a really big issue with doing that. Like, if you're playing Jund and you want to beat up on the current meta, and Boros is going to get to resolve everything that they cast, you do not have the ability to say no. Your answers better be like significant. Like, we're talking, you got to be running like culling rituals or something that's just getting you an insane amount of value, or you're just throwing games away. I guess we're just like firing off this consult to maybe hit a land or something. Or I guess I could kicker it. Okay. Which one you want? That was pretty all right. Pretty good. consult the star charts, if I do say so myself. Osmogoyfin to become immense. Cooking. A little burnt, a little overdone, but slightly cooking nonetheless. We're going to try to jam a Murktide. What are they going to do? Counter it? Answer was no, they're not going to counter it. I don't know how many ways they have to get Murktide off the field. So I'm not sure if I want to counter that or not. Murktide still doing Murktide things. Okay, let's get a prediction started. Whether we're going to get this trophy. Major Riot. What Major Riot's playing. See how it is. Don't believe in yourself. Believe in the me that believes in you. Uh-oh. Got some mulligans. Roll to 5 on the draw. At least it's a mole on the draw, not on the play. On energy. I think I'm going to go. I'm just going to go Fatal Push, untap, jam a frog. Like I'm on the play. I get to be a little proactive here. Hopefully they don't have double discharge. If they have static prison, that's fine. Static prison plus cat would be a little annoying. Opponent has got nothing. Opponent has got the Stone Cold Nope. I feel like that favors me. Kept a card on top. Pass through again. Like this kind of game against Boros. I will throw away this Dark Slick Shores. Don't need it no more. Back no more, no more, no more. No. Oh, Dark Slick Shores. Come back no more. Ocelot Pride is... Is their hand just like 4 lands? They keep like a 5 land Ocelot Pride hand. Nice. Raven Charm to hit my yard. I would like to respond by flying my frog. You got it. To attack you for 2 in the air. Haps, draw a card. All right. GLHF. I'm going to stop you right there. Stop you right there. I'm casting this Consult the Star Charts for the sole purpose of saying that I cast one this game. Literally, like, no other reason. Just kind of depressing, but, you know, what is. Strategic Betrayal you, have you sacrifice a creature your choice. Carry on. We can't kill here, right? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Nope. Hit that one. Wild Flage has appeared. Take one. Cast a big kicked star charts. Bunch. That. Feel kind of okay here. Not sure what it is, but I like my odds. Your move, Yugi boy. And like, I completely recognize that I'm just setting myself up to get curb stomped by Karma games 2 and 3. I accept that. Also, I appreciate opponent like taking the Randy Marsh / Reed Duke approach of just like, I don't hear no bell. Game's not over. I didn't say to quit. Just thinking about if I want to work towards getting basics, just so I don't get cheesed out by a blood moon. Please, no blood moon. Carry on. Speaks the truth. Not out here assuming anything. Vinicius Veroli, thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're having an awesome afternoon. Appreciate you coming by and hanging out. Land has been found. This is not junding or rhinoing you out. I don't know if I can beat rhinos in 2025. Oh wait, no, they printed consigned to memory, didn't they? That's probably pretty good into some rhinos. I had to take a guess. Go Power Bowman. Mighty Morphin Power Bowman. I think they banned Outburst right before MH3. They knew. They were like, they're not going to be mad because their deck would be dead anyway. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Bill said it would be fine. Said it would be fine and you lied to me. Why did they shock in? Like, I want to cast something. My heart says no. They have a showdown. To keep that. All right, so this puts them down to 7. If they fetch, it's down to 6. And if I subtlety, that's potentially lethal. So ironically, best case scenario for me might actually be just been a Flage there. Did not. Greedily got back a Spyro. Do anything yet? They probably have a Spyro. Spyro in hand. Don't want to cast into double Bowmaster. Why are they taking 1 damage? I think they've got Spyro in hand and they want to get both of the Bowmasters off the board before they cast it. That's what I think. See? Spyro in hand. Yeah, but if they block ping, they don't get the Bowmaster off the board. Or do you mean block the Orc army, ping the Bowmaster? Yeah, they could have done that. I guess, if you're into that sort of thing. Gonna Thraben Charm to hit my graveyard. Which means I'm going to Subtlety to hit the Spyro. Dude, they put Spyro on top. We can cast this with Kicker to try to hit a Bowmaster for the win. Or I guess counter spell Subtlety works. All right, carry on. Subtlety off a frog. Woo. So the trophy comes in with Dimir, Consult the Star Charts, FrogTide. Let's hit up the snipping tool. What did we think of Consult the Star Charts? Thought it was better than it was better than I thought it was going to be. I did think I was going to have to cast it a lot with like 2, maybe 3 mana. And I felt like I got to kick it a reasonable amount of the time. So I'm not going to complain. And we'll pay out. Not going to complain. It definitely looked good into Orzhov. It was okay into Boros. The matchup was like a little fast. So I don't usually want to play like that control-y, but it was cool. Do I think it's better than like Sauron's Ransom? I don't know. I feel like until you're consulting for like 5 or 6 lands, it's easily replaceable. But once you get up over 4 and it becomes like 4 mana, dig 6 deep for 2 cards, then it looks pretty good. But that's 6 lands you got to have in play. That's a lot. But it is pretty good at like digging for a specific thing, so I'll give it that. Like if you're able to say, I need exactly a subtlety here or Bowmaster, pest control. It's pretty good in those spots.